Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, am I supposed to say that? I guess. Yes, I should say that. So yeah, welcome back to my channel. It is so good to actually be back to filming or to pretend to film. I'm not pretending. I'm for real. So I was all dressed up to go out. I was gonna go out tonight. Friday night, go have dinner, have fun, just really just relax and unwind. But but obviously the universe had other plans for me, and so I'm not out. Instead, I'm here filming a YouTube video for you. So ain't you just lucky? And I might be looking the other way because I have a mirror in front of me. I'm thin like that. Excuse me. Woohoo. Anyways, I'm still trying to get a hang of filming. I'm not even consistent yet, although I intend to be, God willing. But I'm trying to get a hang of everything. So pardon me if I keep looking out of frame. I don't know how it's gonna turn out when the video comes, but I hope it does turn out okay. Anyways, enough of the rambling. For those of you who are watching me for the first time, my name is Princess Agumbiade, aka Powerful Princess. And in this channel, we talk about your transformation. I mean, you, the beautiful, brilliant lady who's watching this video right now. I am interested. I am personally interested in your transformation. I want to see you go from the beautiful, smart woman that you are right now with so much potential into blossoming into the most powerful and the most effective and the best version of yourself. And that is the reason that I started making videos like this in the first place. So if you are interested in content like that, they call them level up content in mainstream media. You might want to follow this channel. And if you're just curious about what this might really be, you might want to stick around for a little bit more so that you can really see what I am about. Um, and today, I just want to speak very briefly like about having a powerful, or should I say, an impactful presence. One of the one of the compliments that I receive, or that I have received very often recently, is you're so charismatic. You have such good charisma, or you have such an influential or a powerful presence. And these are very unique comments or compliments, and they are very specific. And that is why, for some reason, they have stuck. So initially, it was the "Oh, you look so good" comment, and then it morphed into the "Okay, not only is she pretty, she is smart." When I speak, it's like, "Okay, wow, okay, and especially the men, they're like always shocked. Like, why are you shocked? You haven't seen girls who were smart? Because I bet you there's a lot of girls who are. But anyways, and now the most recent comment has been just the way you carry yourself is something that I just really like. It's interesting. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a really lovely compliment, but I didn't think I was doing anything special to be that way. So I was like, okay, what is this really about? I think when it really struck me was when I was taking a course in gender development in at the Policy Innovation Center, in Abuja. This was around October last year, and I got complimented in this way by at least four people, five people actually, four of my classmates who were also taking the course, and then one of the staff members. And it was oddly specific because they almost like did say the same thing. And after the entire course, I did take some time to really try to understand what was this thing that I was doing that made people feel my presence in this way. And I realized that it was not intentional actions. They were no longer intentional actions. They were accumulation of small small actions that are no longer intentional, but maybe initially they were, but they're now subconscious actions. And I started to take note of some of them. is, of course, my posture does contribute a lot to the way people perceive me. When you walk into a room, people are going to see you, right? Before they see you. How do I mean? So when you walk into a room, people are going to see you first before they get to even see what you're wearing, all of that. They're gonna see the energy with with which you take in the room. So for example, if you walk into a room and then you're like looking down and you're slouching and you're obviously you're overcome with the emotions, or the with the feelings of, oh my god, I shouldn't be here, lack of confidence. That's what they're gonna see first. You could dress in the most fabulous dress ever, you could wear like the best, the most expensive outfit, but just the way that you came into that room, that energy of, I'm not good enough to be here, or I'm not someone important, or I don't regard me, don't look at me, you know don't appreciate me, will be what they would see first before they would get to now see what you're wearing or anything else. So when you walk into a room and you walk in with this self-assuredness, with this confidence, with this, yeah, I'm supposed to be here, like, hey, I'm the, I don't want to cuss word, I'm the it, I'm the thing, I'm a big deal. When you walk in like that, the boom, people see that before they then see what you're wearing, or the makeup or your hair or whatever the extra other things are. So people get to see your presence first before they start to even appreciate or take in your fashion or your style and that. And then how do you really like have that powerful, that intriguing, or I would say that influential, charismatic presence? It is first in your posture, you know, the way that you project your body. Your body is this this medium that transports your blood and your soul and everything, right? So how do you carry it? When you walk into a room, are you trying to hide it, or are you opening it up for people to see? Because then if you're hiding it, it means you're ashamed of it, you're not confident about it, you don't like it, and so they shouldn't like it, and they should also be ashamed of it. But if you walk in and you open up, you know it means, yeah, I want you to see it, I'm not hiding it. You walk in and then you're open, it means, yeah, I'm not ashamed of it. I I'm welcoming you to come see what I'm made of. I know I'm confident about the package that I am, and that just projects you in a better light. So first we'll start with the posture. And the posture, I will say, always, ladies, I'm addressing ladies. My audience primarily are women. So if you're a man, this might not apply to you. Some of this might not apply to you. For the posture for women, you want to walk with your shoulders back. Don't put your shoulders in front, because then you droop your hands, your shoulders forward, and you fold yourself in, and that is a defeated posture. So you want to open up yourself, so your shoulders back. Then you don't want to put them down, you want to put them up, so back and up. And this might not be the most comfortable way if you're not used to it. Obviously, the first few times you're going to try, it's going to feel uncomfortable, it's going to feel weird, but I promise you, when you do something repeatedly, you somehow move it from a conscious action to a subconscious action. And the moment something is in your subconscious, it takes little effort to do it. I mean, at some point, you don't even realize when you start doing it. That's why some actions that you take are almost like effortless, because of how often you take them. Now your subconscious is what is in charge of them, so they don't require so much efforts. One day I will speak about the subconscious and the conscious so that you can understand um, the principle of this. But for now, let's stay here. So, sorry guys, my voice is a little bit hoarse because I'm just recovering from a cold, and it's annoying, but we move, right? Now you have your shoulders back and up, not down and back, but back and up. So you're up, you're putting yourself up. Now this helps you have a straight spine. And then also, you want to you want to pull your midriff in. I know it's a lot of times people will think that when you pull your midriff in, aka suck your belly, they assume it's the thing for people who have big tummy. I don't necessarily have a big tummy, but I still pull my midriff in, and this is because it helps me keep an even straighter spine. So now the thing is, when you have a tight abdomen, it has a way of it gives an illusion of a straight spine, basically. So even if you have a flat tummy, even if you don't have a flat tummy, try to pull your midriff in, pull your tummy in. It doesn't have to be like a lot, but just a little, because it helps you to keep up the shoulders back and the shoulders up and back posture. You want to always make eye contact. I know this part can be a little bit hard because a lot of people are not. It's one thing to not be confident. It's another thing to be shy. Trust me, I know like becoming but being confident doesn't happen in a day. So I'm not gonna say, oh, maintain eye contact and expect it to be natural to you or easy for you to do it, because this is a journey, remember. So I'm gonna give you a tip that I used a lot until I became a pro at this. Now this tip is, I mean, the experts will tell you to make a triangle on the face and look at the size of the triangle, and I think that might just be a little bit complicated, right? So let's leave that for the later parts. For now, the easiest way to maintain eye contact is to look at people, look just above their heads. So look just above their eyes. So look at their foreheads, the top of their head. So if I walk into a room and people, because now you enter the room, people are going to suddenly look up from their desks or whatever to see you, you don't want to quickly avoid their eyes, because that's going to project, again, a feeling of an energy of insecurity or lack of confidence. And that's not what we want. We're going for confidence and it girl. And I'm a big deal, right? So you want to walk into the room and don't look directly into their eyes, because that might be scary. That might be too much for you first, right? You want to look at them at the forehead. You want to look at their forehead. That's where you want to be staring at, right at the forehead. And that way you're not catching their eyes. You're not, so it eliminates the fear. Or you can look just on top of your head, and trust me, it's almost the same level. The distance between your forehead and your eyes, or your head and your eyes, and not so much. So when someone's looking at your head, except you have to go and measure like the eyes, no, you might not really tell. So they might not know that you're not looking at their eyes, but they would see it as you're looking at them, and that means that you are not afraid, and you are confident. So that's one thing you want to do when you walk into a space, and when you're talking to somebody, you have to look at, maintain eye contact. So remember the tip: forehead, top of the head, not eyes for now, until you get used to eyes, right? But I would say if it's like close proximity, if you're looking at top of the head, they will know, because now you're close enough for them to see. So that in that case, you want to use the triangle method, which would be make a triangle on their face and look at the triangle. So look here, look here, look here. So you're not looking at the eye directly, you're looking side of eye, but it just makes sense. I'll teach more on that in next editions, I guess. So now another thing that we want to know how to do is we want to know how to, hmm, very important. Right now we've spoken about posture, about the eye contact. We want to talk about the body language. Um, and this will be the message that your body is sending. And yes, under body language is actually where we have the posture and the eye contact. So let me not confuse you. But I want to talk about now your gesticulations. Now, if you watch me in this video, I'm talking to you and I'm using my hands and I'm using my body to communicate with you. And my body language right now, if I would try to interpret it, I would interpret it as at ease, but engaging. So right now you can see that I'm obviously fully engaged in the conversation with you, and my body is telling the story of, I'm engaged in a conversation. I am, it has a beautiful rhythm, I would say, if I do say so myself. Duh. And you can tell that I'm not under any pressure, and I'm not tense, and I'm not afraid, and I'm just, confident and comfortable. And that's what you want to be going for when you're having conversations, right? You don't want to just freeze, or you don't want to be clenching your fists. Some people are like clenching their fists, and that's an obvious sign of fear or tension. Or some of you are gritting your teeth, you're keeping a weird facial expression. The tension would show in one part of your body. So you want to be very well aware of it, and try to make sure that none of your physical outputs, are, really showing the pressure or the tension that you feel. You have to find a way to contain it and not bring it out. So I don't know, make sure that you're always conscious of your face. You have to keep a relaxed expression or a smiley expression, so that you're not ending up. There's a way that you can show tension can show on your face. So you want to always be have that in your mind. Make sure that you are checking that you're not, you don't forget yourself. I mean, it's okay. The first time you might forget, second time you might forget, third time you might forget. But as time goes on, if you keep reminding and checking yourself, you will actually get better, and it'll become something that it'll become second nature, to always check yourself so that you don't get lost in that. So also you're checking, make sure that your hands are not clenched in a feet in a tight ball, or you're not, making any some of you like tapping, or just those weird expressions that make it look like you're under so much tension or pressure. You want to try to eliminate that. Again, on the body language, also, I would say your the tone of your voice. And this is a topic that I want to even speak about on its own, like as a specific topic, because I think it's broad. I know, right? And there's so many misconceptions with it. One of which is, in order to be feminine and appear as a refined woman, you want to speak with a shrill pitched voice. That's I like someone. I don't know if I'm getting it right, but I think if that's not the pitch of your voice, and you're trying to force that pitch, I think number one, it's counterproductive, because you're putting so much energy into something that is not really matter. You do not have to be speaking like, what is her name now? Like Marilyn Monroe. You don't have to speak like her to still be charming. You can speak like you. It is about how you use the voice, the tone that you have. It's about the inflections in your voice. It's about how you pace your words. It's about how you regulate your breath when speaking. It's about the things that you say, your vocabulary does matter too. You don't want to be using the beautiful accent, but your tenses are bad, and you're just not, speaking the language you're communicating in, right. So it is about those more important things, much more than it is about the the pitch, the shrillness, or the flatness of the voice. Some people have naturally a hoarse voice, and who says that that's not even feminine? So a feminine voice is not only ascribed to one pitch. There are different pitches, so it's really about how you're able to project the one that you have, but in a clear and concise manner, because that's what communication is about. It is about being able to pass the message that you are trying to pass across to the next person, or to people that are listening to you, in a clear and a concise manner, such that they can understand you. Right. Another part is also, it's when you're speaking, you have to make sure that you are, again, smiling. And that's a problem that I did have, because I noticed that when I start speaking, sometimes not in this kind of setting, obviously, But maybe like in a more business setting, I probably would stop smiling and I would get very serious. My face would be stone, and I had to start making it a point of duty to intentionally smile through my speech. And even when it is, you know, even when I think it's a very serious topic, I don't want to be, except it calls for a straight face. I can keep a neutral face that is not exactly smiley, but that is also not a skull. You don't want to have a skull on your face. We're not trying to wrinkle our faces. We're just in our 20s and our 30s, so we're in our 40s. We don't even want wrinkles in our 40s. If we can avoid wrinkles in our 50s and our 60s, we will, right? So yeah. Anyway, so those are the things that I wanted to just touch on when it comes to the body language. Still speaking about cultivating a powerful presence or a very influential presence, I want to say something. Yes, now we've spoken about the body language, working on your posture, working on your eye contact, working on your vocal tones and all of that, which are really really important. Now I want to talk about another really even more, well, not more but equally important parts. It is your hygiene and grooming. Now, difference between hygiene and grooming is, with hygiene is more about your personal. Hygiene is more about things like your brushing your teeth, having your bath, all of that is like hygiene. Grooming is more of the maybe styling your hair, shaving your your underarms. That is more grooming. So, but you see that we usually lump them up together because they're kind of like still around putting yourself together, and they are really important. Some people do not take showers very often because they think, oh, I didn't sweat or something. But sometimes it's just not only about sweating, it's also about there's so much bacteria and debris that's flying in the air that your eyes cannot even catch. And guess what? You're moving on Earth, and they're going to land on your body. They're going to land on your skin, and your skin is going to harbor them. And if you don't take a shower, they're going to continue to, build up on your skin. Even if you're not sweating, even if it's a cold weather and you feel like your body did not bring out any waste. But guess what? The environment that you are in might not be exactly dirty, but the air, you cannot tell what is in the air, and things would land on your body that are not friendly to your skin. There's germs. So showering is just helping you remove all of those things. I mean, you might not even remove all of them completely, so you're never too sure, but that's just the way that you can ensure that you have at least most of them taken out. So try to shower twice in a day. Honestly, that's decent. At the very least, shower once in a day. Then of course, oral hygiene, brush your teeth, brush your tongue twice in a day. Yes. Brush your teeth and your tongue. You don't want to talk and then your tongue is nasty. Take care of it. But then I'll talk about grooming as well. Oh, you want to keep your nails really nice. I mean, I'm not really a fan of like the long, really, really long nails. But if that's your style, although I wonder why that will be the style. It's not exactly very flattering. If you ask me, I did them before when I was younger, but I found them not exactly flattering. So, but if you are still in that stage of your life, keep them clean. Look under them. You want to make sure that under them are looking clean. You want to also make sure that you are always properly groomed. If you cannot afford to fix artificial nails, that's fine. That's okay. Take care of your natural nails. Clip them, clean them, polish them. You don't have to put a colorful polish. You can you can put the clear polish, if, but make sure that you always keep them clean. Sometimes these things, you think that they're very not noticeable, but they are noticeable. I remember going to an event, and it was an evening event. It was just more like an event to for like a school, and I was just listening to the speakers. And after the event, there's this guy who came to say hello to me, and I noticed that he did not just happen upon me because I was sitting in front and he was at the back. So he came from the back to seek me out to say hello, and I was wondering. So I asked him after we became friends. I'm like, why did you suddenly come all the way from the back to come look for me? Because I don't think when I was walking in, you were seated there. No, you weren't. So that means I had come in before you. And if you were behind me, was it my head that you were looking at? Like, oh, I want to talk to that girl. What was it, that made you want to come and like, speak to me? And he was like, your toenails. Or what did he say? He said, your feet. And I was like, what? He said, yeah. I was sitting at the back, but when you crossed your legs, I could see your feet because they stuck out from the side. And it's like the side where, you walk in between the chairs. So he was looking at my feet from the back and he was just admiring how pretty my feet looked. And he was like, okay, I don't see a lot of ladies with feet looking so clean and so attractive. And I was like, I need to go talk to her. She seemed like a very well groomed lady. And so he came to speak to me. Nice gentleman, good looking, good job. Definitely, a good prospect. So he came to talk to me and we got talking and then he told me this and I was like, okay, wow. So yeah, ladies, these things are important if you're trying to attract a certain caliber of men. Remember, keyword is a certain caliber. Some people don't care. But again, are those people the ones that you were trying to attract? Exactly. So yeah, you want to make sure that your toenails, yes, not only your fingernails, also your toenails are taken care of. Do a pedicure, do a pedicure on your toes. They're important. Clean the cuticles, have them polished. Like I said, if you don't want to put the paints, the colored polish, you can put the clear polish. But always keep them tidy. And also, your hair as well. Have your hair in a way that flatters you. There's some hairstyles that don't flatter you, and when you put them in your head, they take away from your beauty, and they don't just make you not come across as exactly beautiful. They do make you come across as scattered and not well groomed, and that's not what you're going for. You're going for a clean girl aesthetic. You're going for a gorgeous girl aesthetic. So you want to make sure that everything is really complimenting you and giving you that aesthetic. Right. So also, you know, your makeup as well. Not everyone likes to put on makeup, I know, but I don't know. If you can, do something little on your face. Just a little, lip gloss, makes your lips look, you know what I mean? Come on. It makes your lips look plump and just, moisturized and nice to look at. You can mascara your lashes just to give them more volume and draw, make your eyes much more, you know, interesting to look at. It's just adding character. I know you're already gorgeous, so anything you're doing with makeup is just to really just draw more attention to the features that you have. That you're already very beautiful features. I don't subscribe to using makeup to change yourself or become somebody else. I think makeup is not a mask. It is just to enhance your already beautiful features. So use them the way that it actually does enhance you and does not take away from you. And some people use makeup as an art form. So those people, of course, they're not, that's a different conversation entirely, but I do acknowledge them. What else again? Talk about what you wear. You want to make sure that you're wearing clothes that are flattering. See, I cannot emphasize this enough. When it comes to fashion, it is important, very important, to prioritize your body type and what works for you over trends and over price tags or labels or whatever they call them. Like, you don't have to wear the most trendy outfit or the outfits that have the most designer logos for you to look nice. In fact, those are not the most important things. The most important things are wearing outfits that look good on your body type. Remember, different people, different body types. So pick what really does accentuates your figures, what flatters you. That's what's going to make you look like a bombshell. So that's another of course, I'm going to have another video where I'm going to try to talk about the body types. And I'm sure there's probably a wealth of material out there that even can help you to figure out what the best outfit, what the best kind of clothes are for your kind of body type. So maybe you want to even research them. Why not, girl? I want you to win. So please do what you got to do. Right. So yeah, also there's so many things that also in the part of like the dressing, apart from dressing for your body type, you want to also make sure that you're wearing dresses that are well tailored. Yes, well tailored. A lot of women will wear dresses just because they think they look stylish, but these dresses might have a good style, but they might not be well tailored. Literally can see the ropes hanging from your skirt. The finishing of the outfit is rough. The zip is just not properly aligned. Something just looks askew, and that can really take away from the overall look. Instead of you coming across as stylish and fashionable, you come across as tacky, and that's not what you want. So you want to make sure that your outfits are well tailored. So yeah, pick clothes that are well tailored. If you need to make an amendment on your feet, make an amendment on it, before you have to wear it, and make sure that after the amendment it is ironed so that the part that has been amended is not like looking, funny and all that. And also, you want to make sure that before you wear your outfit as well, you're not wearing rumpled outfits out. I know some of us don't like to iron. For the life of me, I do not like to iron, but I'm not gonna want to wear a rumpled outfit out because I don't like to iron. So you don't like to iron, find a way around it. Whatever, get a steamer, have someone do it for you, but just don't wear a rumpled dress out because it takes away from your beauty. And we're not trying to do that. Okay. So, what else again is there to say? Of course, smell nice. You see, sometimes you look beautiful, you look approachable, but when they begin to approach you, the but I don't want to say the emissions that your body emits is repulsive, and the person that's trying to approach you makes a U-turn or makes a permanent detour and never makes it back down to you because you just didn't have a friendly sense. So you have to make sure that you invest in your smell. And I'm not saying you have to go and break the bank and buy the most expensive perfumes, but we're gonna start with the underarm sprays. Some people think it's not necessary, but it is absolutely essential. You either use a roll on or you use a spray, but you have to use something because it blocks the pores from overproducing sweat, which is what causes the odor in the first place. So if you can get one that has a good protection, it helps you to block the pores for a period of time so that you don't get sweaty and you don't get smelly, right? Also, you want to have a body spray. I like Victoria's Secret. I think it's still very effective because it has sweets. It has so many sweet smelling ones, and I use that for my body before I put on my clothes. So it's just really a good underground smell for me, or what I say background smell for me. And then I use a perfume, on the right zones, just to really just that's the main smell. But you get what I mean. So, but that's how I get ready in the morning. And you might not be able to do my routine because of maybe we might have different budgets. But what is really important is a good underarm, either it's a spray or it's a roll on, whichever one you choose to use. Then get a perfume. If you can't get a perfume, get a body spray, a very strong but a good smelling one. There's some that are really nice. You can get two so that you can mix them and it gives you a beautiful smell. But don't ever feel the need to neglect putting on a body spray, at least before leaving the house. Don't ever feel the need. That is it's an important part of your just the way you're not going to go out without putting on your shoes. Yes, you're not going to go out barefooted. Don't go out without you know putting on a good scent on your body. So I think I've been speaking for a while now. I don't want this video to get too long. I want to make the conversations continuous. So I want you to stay tuned. Don't forget to press the subscribe button, or is it press or click? Click the So don't forget to click the subscribe button. Make sure that you like this video as well, so that we can have more of the beautiful women out there see this video and watch it. You know, you want to make sure that you are supporting the sisterhood. So share it as well to a friend and a friend of a friend and a friend of a friend. You know, keep it moving. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. And it was so fun to do these. You know, I don't know why I kept procrastinating. I was trying to get a camera first, but I'm happy that I eventually did it. And so I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.